So today we're going to be taking a look at the M3GAN Ultimate Action Figure from Neca. Of course, it isn't Halloween season, but this is just about the figures. This figure looked awesome, and I cannot wait to take it out and mess around with all the accessories it comes with. So let's get right into it. So right on front, you get a picture of M3GAN herself. I do believe this is directly from the movie, so that's cool. And then, of course, down here, you have M3GAN Ultimate Action Figure, and the text is actually raised on the box, so that's cool. On the side, you do get a nice picture of M3GAN again with more text and NECA on the bottom. On the back, you get a bunch of promo images, and like I said before, look at all the accessories you get with this figure. It's just so awesome. I cannot wait to take it out, and I'm really excited to put it next to my Chucky figure because, of course, they're not in the same universe, but they're both dolls that come to life, so that's awesome. So down here, of course, you have M3GAN Model 3 Generative Android, so that's cool. And then, of course, down here, it shows everything that you do get in the box. On this side, same as the other side, just with her face and the text, and of course, NECA. And then on top, you have her name once again, M3GAN, with the NECA brand, and of course, some warnings. Then on the bottom, you get everybody that worked on this figure, and the barcode right there. So let's not wait anymore, and let's go ahead and just open up this figure and take a look at what's inside. Now that's awesome. I just really love all the accessories that this figure comes with. It just gives you so much, like you get a nail gun, hammer. Of course, we'll get more into it in a little bit, but it's just really cool. But right on this side, of course, you do get another promo image. If you've seen this scene, you know, but really, really nice. So let's go ahead, let's stop waiting, and I'm going to go ahead and unbox this figure and show you everything it comes with. So let's get right into that. Real quick, before we go ahead and fully take out the figure, I just want to show you everything as soon as you take it out of the packaging. So the first thing is that you actually do get this entire insert inside of the packaging that you could just take out, which is really cool. And again, it's from that one scene. If you know, you know. I'm not going to spoil the movie. It's been out for a while, but still, you got to see that scene for yourself. But you do get that insert, so that's nice. It's similar to the Chucky figure, if you saw that review. So that's really cool. Definitely could use that for a display. And then, of course, here is the figure inside of the plastic. And there is one tie holding her back. So, as all of us collectors know, it's very annoying, those ties, but it's all right. Got to get that figure. So let's go ahead and fully take her out. Okay, so here's the figure fully out of the packaging, and it already just looks really awesome, especially all the accessories she comes with. It's just really cool. But before we talk more about the figure and the accessories, let's look at them. Let's look at the accessories. So I'll start off with the head sculpts. The very first one is a slightly angrier face of her, or more of kind of just like a flat face. She's not smiling, she's not really sad, kind of just more serious and stern. So that's a cool option. And then right here, this is the much cooler one. You get a fully destroyed head sculpt. That's really cool, with the hair like ripped off and the cut face. I might display this one and then kind of have my Chucky with his like messed up face. That's just gonna look really cool. But yeah, that's really nice. And then the final head sculpt is this, which is her android head. And something cool is that all of them already have the I cannot speak. The neck pegs included. Like, all of the head sculpts have their own unique neck peg. And I do believe that's just because this figure is smaller, but it is cool because then you kind of get this new detail on each of the necks. So I just think that that's really cool. And then this head sculpt actually uses these two face plates that you can use. So you get two of them. Let me do one at a time so the camera could focus. But this one is looking kind of like dead on, really cool. And I really love the paint. It's very nice and shiny and reflective. So that's really cool. And then I do believe these just snap on. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Might be able to push that more. But yeah, right there, snaps right on. So that's really cool. I like that. And then the second one is this one, which kind of has like the eye going a little off. I kind of wish they would have done something a little bit different, maybe with both eyes kind of going off, because originally I saw another video of this and somebody thought that this was just like a mistake, or they were wondering, and I was wondering that too, like, is this kind of a mistake and they were trying to do a different look? But this is how it's supposed to look, and I kind of wish it would have looked a little bit more crazy, because I don't know, I feel like, you know, you're not really going to be using that, but it's still cool to have some options. And then real quick, I want to show you that this accessory, which is a screwdriver, we'll look more at that, but it can actually go inside of the head sculpt. So it can go right there to recreate that scene. So that is really cool. I really like that, how they kind of work together with all these accessories, so that's cool. But let's take a look at the screwdriver closer, in depth. Really nicely detailed, very nice paint. And again, I love how they kind of use the silver paint, or like a metallic look to it. So it actually looks like a screwdriver. I could actually give this to like my Tails figure because it looks so cool. I might do that, but yeah, that's cool. Then of course you do get a hammer, which is really nice. The hammer I wish did have a little bit of a shinier paint for the actual silver, but still looks very cool. It's a hammer. And then this is cool. This, if I don't put M3GAN with it, I'm definitely gonna give it to like Tails or something. But yeah, that's really nicely detailed. Nice big nail gun. So yeah, that's really cool. Then the last two accessories, the weapons, are these two blades. First, let's look at this one. It's a nice clean blade, nice metallic silver, that similar to the one they use for the screwdriver. Very nice. And then of course you get one with blood all over it. So really nice. I like that they give you actually two, so that's really cool. I know she only has one in the movie, but you could kind of pair up with two and it just looked really cool. But yeah, and then moving on to the hands, I want to go ahead and say that you get so many hands, but 5 of them are right hands. So I don't know why that is. I mean, I guess she's a righty, but you get a bunch of right hands. This one is a holding hand. So they're all nicely detailed, and this one does have a vertical hinge, but it's just like, why do I have so many right hands? But this one is a bit of a looser grip, so I'm guessing maybe for the nail gun. Then you have this one, which, or actually all these are lefties. I don't know. But this is a kind of a basic hand. I can't think right now, but a basic hand. She kind of has that already on her, but okay. And then you get another gripping hand. I believe this one is going to be for the hammer or the screwdriver. So that's cool. You get an even tighter gripping hand. Again, probably for the screwdriver then. And then finally, you get a very, very thin gripping hand. Probably for the sword. So yeah, it's cool you get all of these hands, but one, I wish they were different pairs, and two, they're all kind of like the same. They're all gripping hands, and I mean, yeah, the accessories are all different, but still, I feel like, you know, they could have given us a little bit of variation. But aside from that, the accessories, like the main weapons, are awesome. So let's move on to this figure, which is already looking cool. And another thing that I'm excited for is I could use this figure to kind of like be Maria for Shadow and do like something cool with that. I probably will do that. So, but that's just really cool. And then of course I could put her with Chucky. That's awesome. But looking at the figure, it has a lot of detail, very nicely detailed. You can see right on the face, very nice detail. The hair as well. Just looks really cool. I like how the paint is like perfect. Like it's a very simple design, but it's very good paint, like on this I don't know, bow tie. But all right, really nice detail. It's a simple figure, but the paint is done perfectly. So let's get right into the articulation. So of course her head won't be able to move a whole lot because of course all this hair, but it is actually kind of soft. It is a little bit flexible, so don't worry about it snapping off. Of course you're going to want to be careful, but it won't snap off. She can look up. Oh, that gave me a heart attack. All right, so she cannot look up that much. The head does pop in and out pretty easy, but she can look up about that much. So not much at all, but that's all right. And then as far as down, about that much. So she gets a little bit of down, a little bit of up, not much at all. And then she can look left. Oh, it keeps popping off. Well, you know what? What if we just do this? So she could look to the left about that much. If that's what you want to do, there you go. You just have to pop off the head, put it back on, move her hair around. So not much articulation in the head at all. She can't really look left or right, up or down, but if you want to pop off the head and move it in different ways, you can. That is a little bit disappointing, but it's all right. I get it, all the hair. But let's move on. At the shoulder, she can only go up about that much, and I do believe that is because of this sculpt right here. It's kind of like hindering that joint. So again, not that much. Wow. All right, well, she can only move her arm up about that much. I don't believe there's a bicep swivel either. Jeez, kind of wish I had more articulation, but the elbow can definitely go more than 90, so that's great, more than 90. And then, of course, at the wrist, those go in and out, and they do twist. That will do the same on the other side. It can go up about that much. Then, of course, you have articulation at the elbow, which is about 90 degrees. And then the hand does go in and out and does twist. So not the best upper articulation at all, but she does seem to have pretty good like torso articulation. So that's good. So you could actually get more down like that if you want her to look down. She could get some like that. Or yeah, if you want her to look up, there you go. So you could work around it. It just still is like, to me, a little disappointing. I wish she had some more articulation, but that's all right. So her leg can go up about that much. So again, not a lot, but with all this twist, you could get that. So let me finish this and then I'll give you my thoughts. So she could go about that much. And then bend at the knee goes about 90. Pretty good. And if you just saw that, there's a bit of paint chipping going on the joints. So you do want to be aware of that. That is similar to some figures in the Ronin line. The feet can articulate about that much. Can go about that much. And then, of course, you can rock them. So there isn't a lot of articulation. You could get poses that you need out of it, but it is just a little disappointing that she kind of can't move at all without this like inner joint. And I could understand it's a smaller figure, but I feel like it should have had a little bit more, like compare this to the Chucky figure. I feel like the Chucky figure had even more articulation than this. So it's a bit disappointing, but you still could get some poses, so it's not horrible, but it's just not great. Well, let's go ahead. Let's move on to some comparisons. I'll pose her up, and then we'll go to our final thoughts, of course. You know the routine. Let's get right into that. Okay, so here is M3GAN with the YOLO Park Bumblebee model kit, the Star Wars The Black Series Stormtrooper, the Jakks Pacific Shadow the Hedgehog, the Neca Holiday Chucky, and the Neca Battle Damage Ronin. So, of course, she fits in perfectly, as do with most of these Neca figures. They are very well detailed to where you could put them in anything. And my main two figures I wanted to put her with is, of course, Chucky and Shadow. Shadow because I could use her as kind of like a Maria figure, and Chucky because they're two dolls that come to life. So that's just awesome. And she looks perfectly with them, just how I wanted. And it's just really cool to have this figure and kind of have her in these two different displays. But yeah, it looks really cool. Let's go on to my final thoughts, and I'll tell you whether or not I think you should buy the M3GAN figure. So what do I think about the M3GAN Ultimate action figure from Neca? Honestly, I think it is a great figure. It is very detailed and really cool, but it really doesn't have great articulation. You can get it into poses, like there is a workaround for some of the poses as far as like mainly the torso articulation. That's like your key point of movement of articulation. But other than that, the arms are very difficult to move as well as with the legs. And even though it is standard articulation, I wish it was still more. And especially comparing it to the Chucky action figure, which I feel like has more articulation than this and is smaller. I feel like this figure could have had more. Maybe the joints are thinner or skinnier, so maybe that's why Neca couldn't include it, but I do feel like it could use just some better articulation. But other than that, the accessories are the key thing that got me to buy this, and honestly, they definitely were amazing. So if you're getting this just for the figure, I would say maybe hold off, especially if you're getting it for more dynamic poses. But if you're getting it more for a simple pose and more for the accessories as well, then I definitely think this figure is for you. So as with all figures, it really depends on what you think and what you want in a M3GAN action figure. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.